Cheekio Chimp stretched his arms and let out a yawn as he got out of bed. What prank will I play today? Wondered Cheekio. Cheekio was always playing pranks and practical jokes and was well known in the jungle for his antics.
A few weeks ago, Cheekio placed a mouse on Elzinar's desk. As Elzinar Elephant approached her desk, the mouse jumped.
Ah! There's a rat on my desk! Was that you, Cheekio? Screamed Elzinar as she ran out of the classroom. If there was any prank or mischief, Cheekio was never far away. Lizarov Lion let out a roar as he stretched his paws. I wonder what I will do today, said Lizarov. Lizarov was the most feared animal in the jungle. If Lizarov was strolling through the jungle, no animal dared to cross his path. I am king of the jungle. If anybody dare cross me, I will punish them severely. Himaku Hippo, Zebgon Zebra, and Elzinar Elephant were walking to the pool on the edge of the jungle. It's so hot today, said Himaku as he wiped a bead of sweat from his face. I can't wait to get to the pool to cool off, replied Zebgon as he drank water from his bottle. I'm all hot and sweaty, puffed Elzinar as she sprayed deodorant on herself. Suddenly, a huge roar was heard. All the birds in the trees flew away. How dare you try to cross my path, roared Lizarov as he advanced towards the three friends. The shaken friends turned around and in a panic raced away, looking over their shoulders every few seconds. The terrified three eventually came to a stop and caught their breath. High above them in the trees, a small squeaky voice was heard, which they immediately recognized as that of Cheekio. Having a race? Laughed Cheekio. Not now, replied Himaku angrily. What's the problem? I've never seen you run so fast unless the dinner bell's ringing, smirked Cheekio. Lizarov is the problem. He's always bullying us, and he thinks it's funny, said Elzinar, catching her breath. Cheekio climbed down the tree and joined the rest of his friends. I'll teach Lizarov a lesson, said Cheekio proudly. The three friends looked at each other and then laughed out loud and rolled on the floor in hysterics at the thought of Cheekio taming Lizarov. That's the funniest thing you've said all year, said Elzinar as she choked on her laughter. Don't worry, I have a cunning plan, replied Cheekio defiantly. Cheekio was climbing the trees in the jungle when he saw a shadowy figure in the jungle under one of the trees. It was Lizarov, taking a nap in the shade of a tree. I can see Lizarov, whispered Cheekio to the three friends, who were following Cheekio from the ground, careful not to wake Lizarov. The three friends hid behind a bush to avoid being seen by Lizarov. Cheekio opened the bag he was carrying and pulled out a pair of scissors and began to cut Lizarov's mane. Carefully, Cheekio cut the entire mane and then pulled some paint and a brush from the bag. He slowly painted Lizarov's toenails with the paint. The colour was bright pink. Then Cheekio painted Lizarov's tail. As Cheekio turned away to join his friends in the laughter, he stepped on a twig. Snap! The twig broke and Lizarov jumped to life. Who is there? How dare you disturb my sleep? All four friends stood silent, then burst into laughter as they looked at Lizarov. How dare you laugh at me? I am king of the jungle, roared Lizarov in disbelief at the reaction of the four animals. Why are you laughing? Asked the confused Lizarov. Take a look in the mirror, your not-so-highness, laughed Cheekio. Lizarov was in shock. Lizarov made a giant leap and raced towards Cheekio. Cheekio reacted by racing away to avoid capture. Lizarov gave chase, and Cheekio ran as fast as he could. All the other animals that had gathered also joined in the chase to see Cheekio's fate. Cheekio ran through the jungle with Lizarov chasing and the animals following. Stop! Roared Lizarov. No! replied Cheekio. Cheekio made a big gap between himself and Lizarov. And shortly Lizarov could not see Cheekio. As Lizarov approached a small village, he saw a frog by a stream. "Did you see a monkey run this way?"
Yes, he went that way,
pointed a nervous frog. Lizarov went further and approached another village. There he saw a goat. "Did you see a monkey run this way?"
Yes, he went that way,
pointed a nervous goat. Cheekio was tiring. He saw a bench and sat down for a rest and hid behind a newspaper and sunglasses. Lizarov eventually approached the bench. "Did you see a monkey run this way?" asked Lizarov.
Is that the monkey that cut Lizarov's mane and painted his tail and toenails pink?
asked Cheekio with a grin on his face from behind the newspaper. "Oh no, it's in the papers. I'm a laughing stock," whimpered Lizarov, and he ran off. All the animals celebrated and cheered and held a feast in Cheekio's honour. Lizarov was never seen again for weeks. "You did it! You did it! You and your monkey games," cheered the animals.
It can't be. I've been good all week. There must be a problem with the batteries, said Himaku in disbelief. Himaku Hippo was a large animal. He had always been large. Even at an early age, Himaku was always bigger than his friends. But this morning, he was disappointed. He had lost no weight. He had been on a diet all week and the scales had shown no drop in weight. Why can't I be slim like my friends, Cheekio Chimp and Zebgon Zebra? He asked himself. Himaku took a long look in the mirror. My dear friend Alzina Elephant is the only person that is the same size as me. I wonder if she would be interested in doing a diet together. It was Saturday and there was no school that day. Himaku, Alzina, Zebgon and Cheekio had made plans to go to the cinema that afternoon. Himaku was getting ready. He brushed his teeth, washed his face and sprayed some deodorant on himself. A final look in the mirror and then he was gone. Cheekio and Zebgon were waiting at the entrance of the cinema. They had been there for several minutes. Where are they? asked Zebgon impatiently. Alzina's always running late, but Himaku is usually on time. Maybe they helped themselves to another bowl of cereal, laughed Cheekio. That's enough, replied Zebgon, unimpressed. We will give them a few more minutes and then we'll wait for them in the picture hall, said Cheekio. Himaku was walking quickly towards the cinema. In the distance, he could see the familiar shape of one of his friends. Alzina! Alzina! shouted Himaku. I thought I was late, said Alzina, mocking Himaku. Himaku caught up and caught his breath. Oh, we're both late, but I'm glad I got you on your own. There's something I wanted to ask you, said Himaku in a soft voice. What? asked Alzina, frowning slightly. Oh, nothing. Let's get a move on. Cheekio and Zebgon are probably already there, replied Himaku, his tone sad. The cinema was in sight. Cheekio and Zebgon had already gone inside and were met by Himaku and Alzina. The four friends had watched the film and were on their way out. They kept sneezing and blowing their noses. Cheekio, why did you blow sneezing powder in the cinema? asked Himaku furiously. It was just a bit of fun. I did not mean to blow all the powder, but I just could not help it, smirked Cheekio. You spoiled a good film as usual, said an angry Alzina. Everybody in the cinema knew it was one of us that blew the sneezing powder. I could see them pointing, said Zebgon as he blew his nose. The film was rubbish anyway, remarked Cheekio. We could not enjoy it for the sneezing, said Himaku in disgust. I've acted in better films than that, said Cheekio proudly. You act? Name one film you've acted in, asked Himaku curiously. Cheekio thought for a moment. You know the one with the ship that hit the iceberg? Yes, said Himaku. When the ship begins to sink? Yes, said Himaku and Zebgan. When all the passengers fall into the sea? Yes, say Himaku, Zebgan and Alzina. You see all the top hats lying on the water. Yes, get on with it, said Himaku impatiently. I was under one of those hats, laughed Cheekio. You are crazy, said Himaku, trying hard not to laugh. Remember, we are going swimming at the pool later, he added. Himaku stayed closest to the pool, located on the edge of the jungle. It was a short distance, but it still took several minutes to get there, because there was plenty of weaving in and out of trees and bushes. You had to avoid the snakes and other ferocious animals, like tigers. The animal Himaku feared the most was Lizarov. He was king of the jungle. He was huge and very ferocious. He had long claws and long, sharp teeth. He was very mean and used to pick on anybody who crossed his path. Eventually, Himaku reached the pool. He placed his towel on a bush and made his way to the poolside. Oh, that feels great, said Himaku as he dipped one leg into the pool. Himaku began to swim. After about 10 lengths, Himaku got out of the pool to rest and wait for his friends. Himaku made his way to the bush to get the towel he had left. It was not there. Himaku looked everywhere, but the towel had disappeared. I wonder if the wind blew the towel into the pool, Himaku asked himself, looking confused. As Himaku looked into the pool, he could see his reflection. But there was also another reflection in the water. Looking for this? It was Lizarov, holding the towel in his huge paw. Cheekio and Zebgan were making their way to the pool. On their way, they met Elzina, and the three friends walked happily in the warmth of the sunshine, looking forward to a dip in the cool pool. I can't wait to dive into the pool and try out my new goggles, boasted Cheekio. I'm just going to swim a few lengths and then relax by the poolside, said Elzina. I think I will try the backstroke today, said Zebgan, stretching his legs. The three friends were only a short distance away from the pool when they heard cries for help. They ran towards the sound of the cries and were horrified at what they saw. Himaku was running back and forth along the poolside. Lizarov was preventing Himaku from escaping. Help! Shouted Himaku in desperation. How dare you try to run from me, you big hippopotamus! Roared Lizarov. Cheekio, Zebgan and Alzina looked on from behind a tree. They felt helpless. Lizarov was a big ferocious beast and boasted of being king of the jungle. Suddenly, Lizarov surged forward to attack Himaku. Without thinking, Himaku turned away and jumped. The only place for Himaku to go was in the pool. As he jumped, Lizarov just missed Himaku with his outstretched paw. Himaku jumped high into the air. Lizarov looked up at Himaku. The friends looked up at Himaku from behind the tree. Then suddenly, Himaku landed in the pool with a big splash. The splash sent the water high above the trees. When the water came down, it fell on everybody. I hate the water! Screamed Lizarov. Lizarov was soaking wet from head to tail. He looked a terrible sight. His long golden mane was all over the place. He slowly turned around and ran deep into the jungle, passing the others still hiding behind the tree. Himaku carefully climbed out of the pool and dried himself with his towel. Where are your friends when you need them? Moaned Himaku to himself. One by one, the three friends emerged from behind the tree. They were all soaking wet from the water. Sorry we're late, they said, shaking the water from themselves. How did you all get so wet? Asked Himaku, looking confused. We saw all the action. We are so proud of you. Next time we see Lizarov approaching, we're going to throw you in the pool, laughed Cheekio. The four friends spent the rest of the evening enjoying themselves in the pool. Was standing in the bathroom in front of the mirror. She had just finished brushing her teeth and began washing her face. Ooh, that water's so hot, complained Elzina. She carefully blew on the hot water until it was a nice lukewarm temperature. That's much better, she said with a big smile. As she finished washing her face, she washed her ears and her enormous trunk. I wish I did not have a big nose and big teeth, moaned Elzina, with a disappointed look on her face. Although Elzina was a lovely, bubbly animal, she was very insecure about her appearance. She tried everything to hide her imperfections. Makeup, hats, and even huge sunglasses. But she could not disguise that she had enormous teeth and a big nose. She quickly got ready and had a bowl of delicious cereal for her morning breakfast and hurried to school. On the way to school, she ran hastily and caught up with her friends, Cheekio Chimp, Himaku Hippo, and Zebgarn Zebra. Hi, Elzina. You're late today, but at least you're running, which makes a change, laughed Cheekio. Leave her alone, snapped Himaku. I'm only joking. You all know me. It's what I do, replied Cheekio, with a smirk on his face. How come you never met us at the corner shop, like we agreed yesterday? Asked Zebgarn. I was running late. I just could not get my face to look right. It was just a bad hair day. A girl thing. You won't understand, replied unembarrassed Elzina. What's the problem, Elzina? Is it your... But before Zebgarn could finish his sentence, Elzina burst into tears. It's my nose. It's too large. And my teeth are too big too, as well as my ears, whimpered poor Elzina, wiping a tear from her eye. Oh, that's enough. Your nose suits you. Your tusks and teeth make you look fierce, and your ears are fine, replied Himaku, comforting his friend. Cheekio imagined what Elzina would look like with different noses of other animals. First a pig, then an anteater, and finally, giraffe. He quietly sniggered at the thought. Anybody run into Lizarov lately? Asked Himaku. Lizarov Lion was a huge, ferocious animal. He boasted to be king of the jungle, which he was, and all animals feared him. No animal would dare cross his path, and he played on the animals' fears. He was a big bully. No, not recently, replied Zebgarn and Cheekio together. What about you? Asked Himaku curiously, looking at Elzina. There was no reply. She has big ears and can't hear a thing, whispered Cheekio with a grin on his face. Stop it, cried Zebgarn, looking angrily at Cheekio. Stop what? Asked a confused Elzina. Everybody kept quiet. They all knew Elzina had something on her mind, and they knew it was about her appearance and her insecurity. She also had a dentist's appointment that afternoon and was very nervous. They all approached the school gates, and the sound of the bell signalled the start of their lessons. They made it just in time. It was another hot day at the school. It had been a very hot summer, and the sound of the bell could not have come any sooner to signal the end of another day at school. The four friends made their way out of the school gate and through the jungle to their homes. "I have to go to the dentist today," said Elzina nervously. "We know," replied the others. "Do you want us to go with you?" asked Himaku. "No, but thank you. I'm going to take a shortcut by the pool. Anyway, it is only a checkup," replied Elzina nervously. "Okay, take care," replied Himaku. "See you tomorrow at school. Remember to meet at the corner shop if you can get there in time," smirked Cheekio. "I hope she'll be okay. It's a jungle out there," Cheekio added. The friends began to walk deep into the jungle. A cool breeze whistled through the trees. It was a perfect day. The temperature had dropped and the friends walked comfortably towards their homes. Suddenly, the calm was replaced by a frog hopping past them. He was in a hurry and looked very frightened. Suddenly, more animals ran past. Soon there was a stampede of animals running for their lives. "What is going on?" asked Sevgan. As a mouse ran past, she shouted, "Lizarov is attacking Elzina at the pool!" Elzina was backing up towards the pool. Lizarov was advancing. All the animals had fled. Inch by inch, Elzina retreated. Step by step, Lizarov advanced. "Leave me! Oh, please leave me!" whimpered a frightened Elzina. "How dare you cross my path!" roared Lizarov. "I was just going..." Before Elzina could finish, Lizarov let out a roar. "I am king of the jungle!" roared Lizarov. "Please, please let me go! Let me go!" cried Elzina. "First I have to teach you a lesson," said Lizarov. "You and your big nose, ears and teeth. You are not a very pretty sight, and you dare show your face in my jungle," taunted Lizarov. Lizarov's claws were now visible. They were long and came to a sharp point at the tip. Lizarov opened his mouth and Elzina could see his teeth. They too were long and sharp in a big mouth, on a big face, with a golden mane covering the head. A ferocious sight. Suddenly, Elzina lost her balance by tripping on a log by the pool. Lizarov leapt forward to strike Elzina with his huge paw. Himaku, Cheekio and Zebgan hurried towards the pool as fast as their legs could carry them. They were followed by some of the other animals. Elzina had been seen near the pool when Lizarov began his assault. "I hope she is safe," said Himaku in a panic. "I wish I had not mocked Elzina," said a distressed Cheekio. "We're not far away. We should be there soon," said Zebgan. As they approached, they saw Elzina clutching a gigantic log between her trunk and her tusks. She was striking Lizarov with the weapon. Lizarov ducked out of the way of the final blow and retreated into the darkness of the jungle, limping as he went. "I can't believe it! Elzina! You beat Lizarov!" shouted Himaku with joy. Elzina was bruised and shaken, but was able to force a smile. "Where were you guys?" she asked. "You made us proud, Elzina," said Himaku admirably. "I wonder if Lizarov would come back after that embarrassment," asked Zebgan, looking in the direction Lizarov ran. "It would take a lot more than a whack on the head with a log for Lizarov to leave the jungle," replied Cheekio. Cheekio went to investigate the log. "Looks like your teeth are fine. Forget the dentist. I can't even move that log," laughed Cheekio. "Maybe my nose and teeth are useful after all," laughed Elzina. All the animals laughed and cheered. was a very hot afternoon, and all the animals were warming up in the school sports field. It was sports day. It was the final race of the afternoon, the 100-metre sprint. Himaku Hippo had already won the egg and spoon race, and Cheekio Chimp had won the sack race, grazing his head as he had slipped on the sack. Unfortunately, Elzina Elephant had not won a single race. "I can't wait for the race to start. I'm going to win my first race," said Zebgan confidently. "This is my worst event, but I'm glad I've already won a race," said Himaku, stretching his legs. "I have not won a race at all, and the 100-metre sprint is the final race. It's obvious that Zebgan will win this race," said a dismayed Elzina. "I prefer climbing to running. Why can't the school have a climbing race? I would win every time," smiled Cheekio. The teacher summoned the pupils to keep quiet and line up. "On your marks, get set, bang!" All 4 friends pushed off on their legs and ran as fast as they could, huffing and puffing as they ran. The finish line was in sight, and as expected, Zebgan crossed it first. He was followed by Cheekio. A few seconds later, Elzina crossed the line and was met by Himaku moments later. "Will the winner of the race please come forward and collect his medal?" said the teacher firmly. The 4 friends did not hear the teacher because they were deep in conversation. "Excuse me," shouted the teacher. "You, with the stripes, come and collect your medal," she added. Zebgan was very embarrassed at the mention of the word stripes. He disliked being singled out because of the stripes on his body. Zebgan collected his medal, but his happiness had turned into sadness because of one word. The 4 friends were on their way home after an exhausting sports day. Zebgan was quiet, not joining in the conversation the others were having. "What's up, Zebgan?" asked Himaku curiously. "Nothing," replied Zebgan in an unconvincing tone. "You won the sprint again. You should be over the moon," said Cheekio. "It's not that," snapped Zebgan. "Was it what the teacher said?" asked Elzina. Elzina was normally taunted about her large nose, teeth and ears, so she could sense Zebgan was upset by a single word the teacher had unknowingly said. "Yes, I hate my stripes. They make me look odd. I stand out like a sore hoof. Even my pajamas have stripes," howled Zebgan, shaking his head. "But you suit the stripes. You would look odd if you had fur or snake skin or spots," said Cheekio, looking at the sky and picturing Zebgan in the skins. "Okay, but I hate being called stripes. Besides, the stripes are of no use to me." Himaku, Cheekio and Elzina kept quiet the rest of the way home. It was Saturday morning. Zebgan felt stiff and his legs felt like heavy weights were attached to them. He stretched his legs and hurried out of his house and made his way through the jungle to meet his friends. Zebgan put the events of the day before behind him and concentrated on the day ahead. "I feel good today," said Zebgan with a smile. Zebgan met the others a few moments later. "There you are. We have been here for 20 minutes, said Himaku, getting up from the ground. "I'm on time, I said 9:30, replied Zebgan, looking at his watch, which had apparently stopped. "Oh, dear. Sorry, I think I need a new battery," added Zebgan, tapping his watch. "I am glad you're late. I am so tired from yesterday that I can only manage a short jog today," said Elzina, letting out a yawn. "Me too. I'm exhausted," said Cheekio as he climbed down a tree. "Okay, let's get started," said Zebgan in a hurry. "Let me put my house key behind this tree. It keeps poking me. I'll collect it on my way back," replied Cheekio. They all stood in a bunch and began to jog. After several minutes, the bunch became separated into two groups, Zebgan and Cheekio in front, with Himaku and Elzina behind. "Stop!" shouted Cheekio at Zebgan. Zebgan looked over his shoulder and came to a stop. Cheekio caught up with Zebgan and was followed a few moments later by the two trailing friends. "Oh, I can't go on," puffed Cheekio. "Nor can I," said Himaku and Elzina together as they lay on the ground. I must be super fit. I don't feel tired one bit, boasted Zebgon. The friends called it a day and walked the rest of the way home. I feel like finishing the jog. You go rest and I'll meet you guys later, by the pool, said Zebgon. The 3 tired friends made their way home. As the friends were walking home, Himaku noticed a graze on Cheekio's forehead, just above his brow. How did that happen? Asked Himaku curiously. What? Replied Cheekio, hiding the graze with his hand. That graze! The one you are hiding, snapped Himaku. Himaku and Elzina looked at the graze. Cheekio scratched his head. Oh, that graze! On my way home after sports day, I was attacked by 6 huge gorillas, said Cheekio, trying to hold his laughter. Really? Heavens! gasped Elzina. Why didn't you tell us that earlier? Asked Himaku, sensing a fib. I did not want to alarm you, replied Cheekio. Well, what happened? Asked Elzina with great interest. If you must know, the gorillas came out of nowhere. I was surrounded, but I defeated all of them, boasted Cheekio, blowing on his fingernails and rubbing them on his chest. How did you get the graze? Asked Himaku curiously. As I was walking away from the attack, I tripped over a log and hit my head on a rock, replied Cheekio, who had to turn away as he was close to tears. Himaku and Elzina looked at each other, but remained quiet. Cheekio reached for his trouser pocket to get a tissue to wipe his tears of laughter, when he realised something. We have to go back, said Cheekio with worry on his face. Why? Asked Himaku and Elzina. I forgot to collect my key from behind the tree, replied Cheekio. Okay, let's go, said Himaku with discontent in his voice. The 3 friends headed back. Zebgon was enjoying the lovely, cool afternoon as he jogged through the jungle. I might look odd, but I can run, shouted Zebgon, smiling in the quiet of the jungle. Unknown to Zebgon, there was a dark figure watching from within the tall grass. Yes, you do look odd, and you had better run, roared a voice. From within the tall grass, the figure appeared before Zebgon. It was huge. It had a huge body, and attached to the body was a huge head. The head had big green eyes, a big nose, and below a mouth with the sharpest teeth in the jungle. With a swish of its long tail, the ferocious figure advanced towards Zebgon. It was Lizarov Lion. Help! cried Zebgon. No one can help you now, roared Lizarov. You are all alone. In the distance, Himaku, Cheekio and Elzina pricked up their ears. Did you hear that? Asked Himaku, looking alarmed. Help! Help! Came the cries. It's Zebgon! He's in trouble! Called out Cheekio, who had climbed a tree to get a better view. They all ran towards the cries and hid behind some large rocks. There they could see Lizarov taunting Zebgon. Run, Zebgon, run! Came the voices from behind the rocks. At that moment, Zebgon ran as fast as he could, faster than any race he had taken. Lizarov chased Zebgon. The friends appeared from behind the rocks and followed, keeping a safe distance from Lizarov. Zebgon ran past the trees, he ran past the bushes, and he ran past the streams. Lizarov was chasing and was catching up with Zebgon. So you think you are fast? You can't outrun Lizarov. I am king of the jungle, roared the beast. Lizarov was only a few inches away from Zebgon when Lizarov stretched out his paw to hit Zebgon's legs to throw him off balance. At that moment, Zebgon quickly changed direction and ran into the tall, long grass. Lizarov kept running forward and skidded to a stop. Lizarov turned around and looked into the direction of the tall, long grass. Zebgon had vanished. How could this be? Asked Lizarov, scratching his head. How could this be? Asked the 3 friends a safe distance away. Where are you? Roared Lizarov. There was no reply. Lizarov made his way into the tall, long grass, but could not find Zebgon. He looked for several minutes and eventually gave up the search. Lizarov hung his head low and disappeared into the deep, dark jungle.
"Zebgon, where are you?"
whispered Cheekio.
"You are safe. Lizarov has gone,"
said Alzina, looking over her shoulder, making sure. Slowly, the tall, long grass moved from side to side, but there was no sign of Zebgon. Then the grass parted in the middle, and there, in the centre, a distorted Zebgon was standing, looking surprised. Everyone was surprised.
"We could not see you in the grass,"
said Himaku in amazement.
"You seem to blend in with the shades and colour of the grass, like magic,"
said Cheekio with his mouth wide open.
"You have found your secret weapon. You appear to be invisible in the long, tall grass,"
smiled Himaku. Zebgon was very happy. He was with his best friends and safe.
"I might not be able to outrun Lizarov, but I can certainly outsmart Lizarov,"
said Zebgon with a smile. All the friends laughed.
"How's your head? It looked quite sore when you fell in the sack race yesterday,"
asked Zebgon. Cheekio pretended not to hear. Himaku and Alzina looked at Cheekio and laughed. The four friends made their way home, just in time for tea. The sun was shining. It was a hot day, and the sun's rays were lighting up patches of ground in the dark jungle. Under a tree, a huge figure lay sleeping, shielded from the sun in the shade. It was Lizarov Lion. Lizarov was king of the jungle. He kept law and order in the jungle and punished anybody who crossed his path. A small spider was crawling on the leaves that had fallen from the trees. It crept towards Lizarov and climbed up the huge body, thinking it was a rock. As the spider moved across Lizarov's body, it passed the huge head, which contained razor-sharp teeth, and made its way towards the tail. Before the spider could move any further, Lizarov swung his long tail and connected with the spider and sent it flying through the air. Lizarov sprung to his feet and shook his head vigorously to awaken from his nap.
"Who disturbed me from my sleep?"
roared Lizarov as he looked around in anger.
"I am king of the jungle. If I find out who disturbed my sleep, I will punish them severely. Come out from your hiding place, and I will let you off with a warning,"
he added. There was no reaction. Lizarov looked in every direction, but could see no one.
"I've a good idea who might have done this, and when I see any of those 4 misfits, I will make them pay,"
thought Lizarov. The teacher was busy writing on the blackboard. It was mathematics, a subject not high on the likes list in Cheekio's book. Cheekio Chimp was always up to mischief. Pranks, jokes and misbehaviour were a way of life for Cheekio. Alzina Elephant sat beside Cheekio. She was a keen scholar. Peering over her spectacles, she never took her eyes off the teacher. Behind sat Himaku Hippo and Zebgon Zebra. Cheekio was very bored and let out a yawn.
"Oh, this is so boring. What good is maths when all I do all day is climb trees?"
asked Cheekio as he stared out of the open classroom window.
"Shush,"
said Alzina as she kept her eyes on the blackboard.
"I need to liven things up here, otherwise I'm going to fall asleep,"
thought Cheekio. Cheekio reached into his school bag, hanging over his chair, and pulled out a small box. He carefully opened the small box and reached inside. Cheekio let out a giggle and quickly looked up to see if the teacher was looking. She wasn't. He slowly picked something up from inside and gently placed it in the palm of his hand. "Let's have a bit of fun," smirked Cheekio to his hand. Cheekio stroked his furry friend and placed the small mouse behind his book, which he had propped up and opened, shielding it from the teacher. "Who can answer the following problem?" asked the teacher as she pointed at the equation on the blackboard. Cheekio was playing with the mouse, not paying attention. Elzina had her hand raised high into the air. "Stand up, Cheekio," said the teacher with anger in her tone. Cheekio looked up at the teacher and stood up. "Do you know the answer?" asked the teacher. Cheekio thought for a moment. 4.5, replied Cheekio half-heartedly. "Tell him, Elzina," said the teacher, nodding her head. "It's 24!" screamed Elzina as she jumped back from her desk. Cheekio looked for his furry friend from behind his book, but he was gone. Elzina ran from her desk and out of the classroom, shouting at Cheekio as she ran. "Ah, there's a rat on my desk!" "Was that you, Cheekio?" she screamed. "Whatever is up with Elzina?" asked a confused teacher. "Your maths lessons are getting harder," smirked Cheekio. "That was a terrible prank you played on me," said Elzina in disgust. "It wasn't me. The mouse must have run onto your desk," smiled Cheekio. The four friends were on their way home from school. It was a mild day, and the sun was trying to shine from behind the clouds. "You should behave yourself, especially in class," moaned Himaku. "You are lucky the teacher did not see the mouse. She would have known only you could have brought that vile animal into the classroom," said Zebkan, as he looked at Cheekio in disbelief. The four entered deeper into the jungle. Their homes were not that far away. "Anyway, how come a big, huge, enormous animal like Elzina is afraid of a small, tiny, teensy mouse?" asked Cheekio as he scratched his head. Three heads turned and looked at Elzina, walking at the rear. "They are so small. I'm afraid they might run inside my trunk," replied Elzina in embarrassment. "I am not small. Are you afraid of me?" Four heads turned and looked straight ahead. There, in front of the four friends, stood a figure that would frighten even the bravest of them all. Claws were visible. They were long and came to a sharp point at the tip. As the figure spoke, you could see his teeth. They too were long and sharp, in a big mouth, on a big face, with a golden mane covering the head. A ferocious sight. As the sun came out from behind the clouds, it lit up the five animals like a spotlight. The figure was Lizarov. Lizarov circled the four friends. The four huddled together, keeping their eyes focused on Lizarov, looking for an opportunity to escape.
"I've been looking for you," roared Lizarov. "I thought I might catch one of you, but instead I have all four," boasted Lizarov with a grin. "What have we done?" asked Himaku nervously. "Silence!" roared Lizarov. "Have you no respect? I am king of the jungle. Call me your highness or sir," he added, holding his head high. "What have we done, your highness?" asked Himaku again. "One of you disturbed me when I was taking a nap," replied Lizarov. "When, sir?" asked Zebgan. "Yesterday morning," replied Lizarov. "We were all at school, your highness. It must have been somebody else," said Elzina, lowering her head. "I don't believe you. Anyway, I have to punish you as a message to others," roared Lizarov. "Please, your highness, don't punish us. We are defenseless and weaker than you. Please let us go," begged Elzina. Lizarov stopped circling the four and looked at Elzina. He went into deep thought. He remembered when he was a small cub.
The four friends looked at one another and decided this was the time to make their escape. Lizarov was looking at the ground, unaware of their bid to escape. Just as Himarku turned to run, he slipped on a pebble and fell to the floor. Zebgan, Cheekio and Elzina ran into Himarku and fell flat on their backs. Lizarov quickly gathered his senses and stood tall in front of the pile of friends.
Stop! I have something I must tell you,
said Lizarov. Lizarov sat in front of the four friends. The four sat in a line and listened to Lizarov.
I have something I must tell you,
said Lizarov, his tone unusually soft. The friends listened, paying attention to the person at the front. More respect went to this ferocious beast than the school teacher in the classroom.
I too was a victim of bigger animals when I was younger. I was a small cub, and older lions would pick on me. My mother used to say that one day I would be king of the jungle, and nobody would ever stand in my way. I grew taller and stronger as the years went by. I was taught that to maintain honor and law and order in the jungle, I had to discipline anyone who broke any of the laws. Fear was a weapon, said Lizarov as he turned to each friend.
The friends listened.
Because of my role in the jungle, I found it hard to make friends. Animals used to run away when they saw or heard me approaching. In fact, I have no friends,
said Lizarov, sounding unhappy. Lizarov looked at the four friends, sitting and listening intently. He turned away from them and looked into the deep jungle.
I am king of this jungle, and you are all my servants. What I would like are friends, not servants. I could go sunbathing, running, and play all the fun games everybody plays. Instead, I have to maintain this image to keep order. If only I had friends, even one friend. So, I would like to spare all of you from punishment, if you would be my friends,
asked Lizarov, as he continued looking into the deep jungle. There was no reply.
I would not chase you or make your lives difficult if you just became my friends. So what do you say?
Asked Lizarov. There was still no reply.
Speak up! There is no need to be afraid,
whispered Lizarov. A small spider climbed on Lizarov's back as he sat. With a swish of his tail, he threw the spider off. Lizarov jumped to his feet and realized what had disturbed him from his nap earlier. He turned around to announce the news to his new friends.
You cheeky devils! Wait till I catch you!
Roared Lizarov. The four friends had gone.